Rodri takes a look into the future of transport. Will we be trading petrol power for pedal power? But first, I catch up with David Wardell to meet up with another band of bright sparks on our last visit to Newcastle for Inventions Plus. Stephenson's rocket. Heard of it? Well, it's possibly one of the most famous inventions of all time, and this direct ancestor to the train was actually invented here in Newcastle. Now, David, it was a pretty remarkable breakthrough, wasn't it?
Well, it was, but of course it wasn't Stephenson that invented the steam locomotive. That was Richard Trevithick in 1804. But of course what Stephenson did was prove that the locomotive could be viable, and he came up with the infrastructure, the rails and everything that needed to go with it.
Well, you don't have to revolutionise the world to have a good invention. You could come up with something that, say, just changes the way we spend our leisure time. Remember snakes and ladders? Well, here's a great invention for changing the way that we while away those long winter months. This is Phil Affleck, and he's invented a piece of kit he calls the Golf Target. Now, Phil, what's this all about?
It's very simple, Lindsay. The Golf Target is an indoor driving range. It's developed to enable golfers to maintain their handicap through the winter season.
Excellent. Can I have a quick go?
Let's do.
Brilliant. Now.
Very well.
Okie doke. Fingers crossed. Okay, missed completely. Try it again.
Take your time. Good shots. That shot would have probably gone about 50 yards.
That's not very far,
and gone with a deviation of about 17 yards from the centre of the fairway.
Oh, well, not too
That's
bad.
not too good.
not too good, great. Now, what made you come up with it?
Well, it's a very simple idea. The golfers have to aim at what we call the golf target. The golf target is 1 metre by 1.5 metres, and it's made of a specially developed foam. That foam, when hit by the golf ball, will retain the impression of the ball long enough so you can see where the golf ball would have gone had it been on a real golf course.
So it's giving you a projection of where your ball would have gone if your shot had been allowed to carry on?
That is correct. And unlike most indoor driving golf equipment, you actually use a proper golf ball.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Phil.
Thank
we'll
you.
get David in and see if he's got any advice for you. Now, David, this is pretty unusual for us, isn't it? Partly because it's huge and partly because it's a leisure activity. Now, what kind of advice would you have for Phil?
Well, I really do like this, actually, and the main reason for that is it's very low tech. There are all sorts of golfing devices about to sort of help you train with your swing, and they're all electronic, and they all spend an enormous amount of time out of commission. They don't actually work. Whereas this one, he's actually managed to protect himself because he's got a patent on this target, and the fact that it's so simple, it deforms, you know where you've hit the ball, means that you don't have to have a great amount of clever people about keeping the thing working every day. And of course there are other money-making things about this. There's a huge amount of space, great for advertising, and there's lots of strings to it. And I think it could really work. You could see a scenario where there were 5 or 6 of these in a row at a leisure centre throughout the winter months. Yeah, for winter time, I think it's really got legs. It could go somewhere.
Brilliant, excellent. What advice would you have for him for the next step?
Well, it's all about marketing now. He's done the advanced prototype. He's got his patents in place, so he's protected. He's now got to get out and sell it, and so he needs to troll around to the people that might take it and really push it all the way.
Excellent. We'll pass that on to him and wish him very good luck.
Great.
Before we go, there's just time to have a look at one last invention. This is an invention by Paul Tallant, and it's a charger for a mobile phone with a difference.
Yes, that's right, Lindsay. It's mainly designed for people who are on the move, people who've got no access to a recharging point. Works purely off kinetic energy,
So you squeeze it with your hand?
It just works off a trigger action, needs no batteries whatsoever. It just needs a little bit of effort to make it work.
Now, this has got to be seen. Plug it in. Let me see that battery flashing.
Obviously this adapter has been designed to fit this phone and this phone only, but they will be made to fit any phone. And then it's literally just work the trigger action. It does take a little bit of
enthusiasm, shall we say.
Yeah. And that produces the charge into the phone.
And keeps you fit at the same time.
And keeps it.
Yeah, you can see the battery going now. That's absolutely brilliant.